I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. It's the Monday show. You know what that means. Yeah, we bring in Miss Anna Vocino. Man, she is lean. I was talking to her earlier today, and she was huffing and puffing. And it's like, oh my God, what's going on over there? Turns out she was walking up a hill while she was complaining to me. Only an Italian woman can.
That's right. Suffer while complaining.
An Italian, but boy, that didn't stop her. No, I got one that calls me up and yells at me anyway.
Yeah.
Man, she was piping mad. We're going to find out why during this show. But before we do that, we're going to listen to this guy, Mr. Rock, Mr. Kid Rock. Yeah, this is for the questions that have no answers. That's right, Kid Rock. Mm-hmm. And I bet you.
Well, you have answers, though.
Oh, I do. But whenever we were talking before the show, and we decided that we were gonna do some of my hate mail.
Yeah. But not to belabor the hate mail thing, but to actually answer some questions. Hopefully, you guys will get some value out of this. It's not just me and Vinny bitching for an hour.
This will be constructive. We're not going to bitch for an hour. As a matter of fact, we have some. Before we get into that. Oh, and by the way. I want to talk about. Let me write this down. We're going to start off with some good stuff before we get into the bad stuff. Okay.
So many goodies.
So Anna, before we even get into the good stuff, because I got to feel I'm going to lose my mind on this shit.
I don't want you to.
I don't want to either. Let's go ahead and thank our friends over at Villa Capelli olive oil. Can you do that while I look?
Are you referring to the best olive oil on the planet?
Yeah.
Well, it is the best olive oil on the planet. Wait, I'm not muted, am I?
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay, my buttons are looking weird. My buttons.
No, you're good.
Listen to this. Here's the button that you should press. Go to villacapelli.com and put add to cart. You need that olive oil in your cart. You need it in your tummy, in your home, in your pantry. I think the Villa Capelli is the best tasting olive oil out there because it actually has a taste. Most of the olive oils that you're going to buy in the grocery store kind of just taste like who would do a shot of oil, right? Well, back when we started this podcast, I saw Vinny shooting that Villa Capelli and I was like, whoa, I never thought about doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But now I do it because it tastes delicious. You can add a little salt to it and then you've got a little snack in case you don't want to you have to wait to eat your meal. So here's why I say this about grocery store olive oils. I didn't realize this, that most grocery store, the big brand names, they cut, and they're legally allowed to do this, cut the oils with cheaper seed oils. As long as it's not one of the major allergens, they can put cottonseed, canola, sunflower, safflower, corn oil. What's the other one? Soybean oil. Well, actually, soybean oil.
By the way, Anna, one of the questions I get on the, when I do the consults, people will say to me, do they really? Are you just saying?
Oh my God.
It's like, no, there's a whole book written about this.
Yes.
And the guy who wrote
several books.
Yeah. The guy who wrote the original book, Extra Virginity, he never got sued.
Nope. And same with Larry Olmstead, who's been on this podcast. Yeah. He's never been sued. Talking about real food, fake food is the name of his book. So there are several books. There's a UC Irvine olive oil study. I don't know if they keep up with that every year, but you can go back and see older years. And maybe some of the olive oil companies have started to clean up their act, but I don't have a lot of faith in big food now.
No, big food is not going to. Yeah, they know that there's enough dupes out there. They're not worried about us health food nuts. They're
worried about their margins, and they're going to make their margins as long as they cut their oil. So Villa Capelli, however, it's priced a little higher, and that's because it's 100% real extra virgin olive oil, which means it's the first press off the olive trees. They harvest them a little early, which gives them that Puglia pinch. It has a flavor. It's the polyphenols gives it the Puglia pinch.
Yeah, look.
In the back of the throat when you shoot it. And it will taste different if you've not had real olive oil, and you will be shocked and amazed. And then it tastes even better when you heat it up and you saute some vegetables in it, or cook a chicken thing in there. You don't need a lot. So a 3-liter tin will go a long way, but you will be eating olive oil and healthier fats every day now that you're doing NSNG. So that's why we've been talking about Villa Capelli long before they were even a sponsor. Now they've been a sponsor for quite some time, but you want to get 10% off when you buy it. So use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, not with the wimpy Y.
Oh, wimpy Y. No.
For those of you who write me and you write about Vinnie and you spell it with a Y and you're saying disparaging comments.
Yeah. You're already
not
out.
A fan.
Yeah.
You're already out. The discount code is Vinnie, VINNIE. and you'll get 10% off your order each and every time. So support Villa Capelli. You will not regret it. And they support this podcast. So thank you to them.
Even though this ad is over with, I mentioned this. I was recording with Megan Hawks last night for the Friday show.
Oh, good.
But I think
Foxy.
this show will come out before that show. I'm banking a lot of shows because of all the travel and everything.
Right.
But at any rate, I mentioned that there's been all this olive oil in the coffee. I think Starbucks started the olive oil and the coffie thing. So at some point, I got to give it a try.
Did you guys talk about that yet? Or what kind of olive oil are they using?
Well, I don't know. They use, I think Debbie told me at one time what they were using. She went and researched it. But the bottom line is, I went, okay, people are asking me about this. And I'm like, I can't imagine it tastes good. So I didn't know exactly how to do it. So the first time I made it,
you made your own olive oil coffee?
Yes. I took 4 shots of espresso.
Oh,
4 long
shots. That's a red eye.
So it fills up a cup. It fills up a mug. It fills up this. It does this mug to about here.
Right.
4 big long shots, not short shots.
Right.
And then I first time I did it, I put 1 ounce because who knows how much and this and that. I'll put it in a blender so that it can kind of really, whiz it up into the coffee.
Yeah.
And
get it good and emulsified and fluffy.
I got to tell you, it's pulling 2 great Italian things together, the espresso and the olives. And
so did you use Villa Capelli for that?
It's the only olive oil I have.
Okay. I'm just confirming.
I use Villa Capelli when I suntan. And, when I tried to get rid of Guam, when I had my hydrocele on my testicle.
That it didn't work for.
No, it didn't. But boy, did it feel good.
It does feel good.
Ruined the pair of pants, but that's another thing for another day. But I started sipping that espresso. Number one, flavor was incredible. And you get to pull your pinch. You got the hot coffee with the oil hitting the back of your throat, and you get that little pull your pinch.
Oh,
I've fallen in love with it, Anna. It's become my afternoon treat.
Interesting.
Right now in this cup, as you know, right, we're recording this at 3:28 right now. This cup has that in it. You can see it. I don't think.
Are you drinking it right now?
Yeah, look, you can look in the cup, Anna.
Oh yeah, I see it.
You can see the espresso.
I can see the little foamy bubbles.
Yeah, and the olive oil is in there.
The residue. So
look, this Villa Capelli has been over for a while. Again, before we get into debauchery, I want to show you something. This came in, and I won't be able to be on mic because I have to stand up. So let the audience know what I'm showing right now. Hang on.
Okay. Something's happening. By the way, we're both wearing blue shirts. This is very exciting. That's not what this is about, though. Oh, I think I know what this is. He's holding something. Oh my God.
Am I hitting it right? There we go.
It's Stella and Sophie oil painting by Rose Dobbins.
Yeah. And
that is so amazing. That's the picture you sent her after we had her on the show, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I took that picture. Right.
It's so incredible. It makes me want to burst into tears.
It really is.
That's very emotional.
Let me get back on the mic here, Anna. So here's the deal. I was going to hang that behind me where you see that photo of me with the dogs and the bicycle. I was going to put it there.
Okay.
But I can't because I love this thing so much. It has to be where I'm going to see it. I never see what's behind me on that wall. I want it to be in the pretty part of the room, the part where, I watch football and I got my fireplace and I got my dude area. Like, people call it a man cave. That's going in that part. As a matter of fact, it was over there before the show. I had to walk over there and get it and bring it over here. Rose Dobbins, if anyone wants, I don't know if she does more than animal photos, but man. Does she have a website or can you contact Robin Dobbins? Oh, she gave me. Let me text Robin while we're talking. I don't have. Yeah. Find out the information. I want to give this woman a plug because. Yeah, for sure. When you say you get choked up, when I took it out of the packaging. Oh, I'm sure you did. By the way, I called her and thanked her. She said she was going to do it in pastels and then she decided to do it with oil. It was very difficult because I did it. My dogs were matching the background because it was fall. And there was all the leaves behind them and they're vizslas. And one of them was mostly white. Stella was mostly white at that point because she was so old. But oh my God, to have Stella, it's beautiful. Especially, commemorate it like that. You're right. It's emotional just to see it, and it's so great. She's so talented. I know your Italian Greyhound Izzy is very, very old.
She every day is a gift.
Yeah. Every day is like, your dog is living like in a soccer match. They get, okay, the match is over. Now here's 5 minutes.
Right.
More. That's what your dog is doing.
She's at the 5 minutes right now. Yeah.
So find a good photo, send it to Rose.
For sure. rosedobbins.com.
Okay.
ROSEDOBBINS.com.
Oh, look who came over. Hey, Bob. Oh, my goodness.
How's Bonzo doing?
Did you hear me talking about you and Stella? My goodness.
Yeah.
Came over just to give me a little lick.
That's very nice.
Good boy. Good licking. All right. That sounded weird.
That's what I say to Lauren. Oh, boy. Sorry. I'm sorry. That was low and stupid. Stupid.
No, I love it.
Oh, God.
That's what I love about you.
Did you hear that phone ring?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
They're blowing up my phone.
Blowing up.
So popular with the spammers.
And by the way,
rosedobbins.com.
She put it in a frame and the whole thing. I didn't have to. I
mean, above and beyond. Yeah,
she went beyond. And I know Matt, I saw the way they packaged it up and the whole thing, and it was very carefully. I know Matt and Robin did that. And so thank all of you guys.
We love Matt and Robin, but by far our favorite Dobbins is Rose.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than Rose.
No.
Yeah.
She set the bar pretty high, Matt and Robin.
Serena wanted to put this upstairs in one of the, and I was like, no, this is mine. It's going where I can see it.
It's not yours, it's mine.
Mine. Anyway. All right.
Okay.
And we've got a lot of show to do.
Let me launch this by saying I get this question a lot, and I bet you do too.
Mm-hmm.
And Arthur wrote me, I believe, on Instagram, and it got, I told you the gist, but I didn't read it to you. And then you said, let's talk about this whole thing. So Arthur asked me, I know Vinny doesn't approve of quinoa. Can you please explain why? I'm trying to understand and eat healthier. Thanks. Love your cookbooks, bought several and gave some as gifts. Thank you, Arthur. I appreciate that. And he's being sincere. And the thing is, the old timers all know your phrase of fuck quinoa. Right. And some people even have the t-shirt that says it. And so we're all like, ha,
it was my first entry into the Urban Dictionary.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
So just know, Arthur, nobody's trying to like blow you off. It's just that we all have this inside joke that we've been saying for years. But so I thought, well, now's a great time to explain why Vinny says fuck quinoa, among other things.
Wait, hang on. Megan is writing back to me. Let's see what she has to say.
Okay. Wish her a happy birthday. It's her birthday today. You know who else's birthday it is? Lois's birthday.
Oh, and she even wrote, out for my birthday. We'll look when I get home.
Great.
Probably won't be in any shape to look when she gets home, but okay. Happy birthday, period. Hope you're enjoying your day, !
Great.
Anna says, hi. How about that?
I already texted her happy birthday. And I already texted Leona happy birthday at 7:30 this morning.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I found out it was Leona's birthday. Because I called her to ask her a question, and she mentioned that. Do you know how old she is?
Leona?
Yeah.
No.
I thought 55? She was a lot younger. She's 57.
Is she really?
I thought she was a lot younger than that. Yeah. But
she's got that gorgeous skin.
She does. She's got the olive skin, and it just doesn't,
She asked me about skin. I'm like, girl, you tell me. Tell me your secrets.
Yeah, what's your secret? Dark olive skin is what the secret is. Well. Anyway, happy birthday to Megan and to Leona, who share a birthday.
Yeah.
What's the date today so people can know?
Well, I don't think we should say it because I don't know when this episode's coming out. It might sound weird.
Yeah, it will.
So Arthur wants to understand why you're so against quinoa instead of people just pelting him with fuck quinoa quotes. Could you take us on the way back machine and let us know what brought you to that conclusion?
And that's going to also help us, dovetail into what we're going to talk about today.
Great.
Early on in the show, I said no sugars, no grains.
Right.
And somehow you could get people on board with wheat.
Sure. Pasta, bread, muffins.
Especially
cakes. Yeah.
Bleached and, just all that kind of stuff. But then people would go, well, what about quinoa? Quinoa is that, and it's like, well, that's a grain. Yeah, but it's like a super healthy grain, right? It's like, no, it's a grain.
Technically, and they would go, technically it's a seed. It's a seed.
I would get that a lot of times with rice also. Oh, that's like a grass, seed. I mean, whatever they say about rice. So there was always a lot of, the quinoa, especially amongst the vegans, that the early on vegans, before they really hated me, when they were still trying to understand me. A lot of my buddy Rich Roll's friends would listen to the show because I would go on Rich's show a lot and the whole thing. Well, actually, Rich didn't have a show at first. He started the show after he saw the popularity of our show. That's the way that worked.
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, Rich was like, hey, bro, Dusky. By the way, Rich Roll, one of the most educated men I know.
Oh, yeah.
He comes from like a family up around, I don't know, DC or Connecticut or somewhere. I don't know, just some, really kind of button down family. And if you talk to Rich Roll, you would swear that he grew up next to Spicoli on the beach on a surfboard, right? So when you talk to Rick, he's like,
I didn't realize he's from the East Coast.
right. He's like, bro, dude. He's calmed it down a lot now for the podcast. But he still talks with that voice. I can listen to Rich talk all day because he's got that dude voice. So when I found out, oh yeah, you come from some rich folk up around DC, your dad was like a lobbyist or something, some big deal, right? I don't know what his dad did, an attorney for the government or something. At any rate, I would go on this podcast. He would come on, he heard ours and he said, oh my God. Yeah, a lot of people heard me on that. I need to start my own podcast, make it a vegan podcast.
Yeah, well, listen, we were doing it before other people were. That's for sure.
I know. That's why when people say, "You ever hear of Rich Rose?" Like, yeah, he. I went over to his house and showed him how to set up the equipment when he did the original thing in his garage. At any rate, the vegan thing, vegans would listen and they go, "Yeah, but I'm a vegan. I need to eat quinoa. I need to get extra protein."
Right,
folks. The amount of extra protein you get from quinoa is negligible at best. Did I put an extra syllable in that word?
Negligible. No, that sounds right.
Negligible at best. I mean, they hold it up at a standard of, no, you don't understand. You eat quinoa, you get a lot of extra protein. No, you don't. Yes, all grains have some monicum of protein, but it's not a whole lot. You can't live on that protein. It's not enough for protein synthesis to keep your body running at a comfortable rate. You are losing, you're not getting enough protein to live if you're eating only grains. And for God, quinoa is not doing you any favors. At one point, I got tired of answering the question so often that I started saying, oh, fuck quinoa. Just fuck quinoa. And it just became a thing. It got picked up. I don't know how, do you know more about it than that, or?
I think that you just went off on a tirade one day and that was a thing.
Yeah.
I will say this, just doing like a quick Google. I know Google's not the most reliable, just to kind of put the nutritional facts in that are from the USDA. A pound of meat, which it's hard to compare a pound of meat to a cup of quinoa.
No, we can. I'll distill it down. Give me the numbers and I'll distill it down.
Well, a pound of meat has 65 grams of protein according to the USDA.
Okay.
And a cup of quinoa has 8 grams of protein. So I would say, even if you cut the beef in half, which would volume-wise equal about a cup of meat.
No, let's cut it down by, let's take a third. All right, let's take a third. So if you have 68.
65. 65 divided by 3. 65 divided by 3.
Well, 68, you round up as 7.
No, it's 65. It's 65 in beef and 8 in quinoa.
Oh, God, that's where I got 68.
Oh, I was dividing 65 by 3. It's about 21.5 grams of protein.
Okay, so let's remember that, folks. I'm going to play along with you here, Anna. So meat, 21 grams. Okay, a cup of quinoa, how much? 8.
8. But I guess what I'm saying is, I would eat a half of pound of beef. And so then I would get, for a serving, I would eat a half pound.
You would. But I'm trying to give quinoa a fighting chance here.
Okay.
I don't want people to say I'm Jimmy and the numbers too much.
Okay. So a third of a pound, like I'm having a third of a pound of a burger.
Yeah. Or a quarter pounder, so you're having a little more than a quarter pounder, right?
So 65 divided by 4 is 16 grams of protein. But that's what I'm saying. Like even a quarter pounder would be double the amount of protein if you ate a cup of quinoa.
Listen, most people would eat at least a half a pound of beef, but I'm trying to give quinoa a fighting chance in this argument.
Okay, I didn't know you're so pro quinoa all of a sudden.
No, I just want to prove. I want to prove to people how crazy this is.
Okay, so quinoa agenda.
Since you have quinoa pulled up, all right. Wait, first off, give me another number. how much carbohydrates in a pound of meat?
That would be 0.
Okay, 0. Let me write down 0 next to meat. And quinoa in 1 cup. What do you have?
Hold on. Now the USDA is saying a different number. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to get this right because I want people to understand this once and for all.
Okay, it says I'm going to USDA because whatever Google was giving me. Hold on. Stand by.
All right. I want to get this right, Anna, because
1 cup of cooked quinoa. Cooked.
Okay.
8.14 grams of protein.
So we're going to call that
39.4 carbohydrate,
39.
5 grams of fiber, 32 grams of starch.
No. Just give me.
I'm just saying what the USDA says. It's very confusing.
Right, so let me give me the carbohydrates and
39.4.
And we just heard that. So we're going to say 39. So we just heard your mouth.
Beef that has 0.
Most of it is starch.
Yeah.
Did you say 32 of that was starch? Okay. So it's all starch. Okay. Now get ready to do some adding and subtracting, Anna.
Okay. Well, this is like our 12 Days of Christmas episode.
So to get the same number of grams of protein that you will get in just a 1/3 pound of meat, nobody eats that little, right? Most people eat at least a 1/2 pound, right?
Right. Maybe. Yeah. Let's say a 1/3 of a pound. That's okay.
3/8 or 24, right?
Hold
so
on.
let's say
65 divided by 8
times
no. is 24. Yes.
Okay. No, what I want you to do is quinoa has 8 grams of protein. In order to even get close to get right over the amount that you would get from a 1/3 of
you have to have
meat,
3 cups.
You would have to have 3 cups.
Yeah.
Here's where the adding comes in.
Then you have 40 times 3 of 120 grams of carbs.
So in order to get even close to the same protein,
90 grams of starch. Yeah.
So listen to this, folks. Listen very carefully. In order to get enough protein to match a very small piece of meat that has 0 carbs, you would have to take in 120 carbs just to get the same protein. Now, wait, there's more. Meat protein, animal protein have all the amino acids that you need to build more muscles, right? To build more organs, to keep your body running correctly.
Right.
You're not getting those same amount of amino acids from any kind of wheat product, period.
Okay.
Not even close, not pea protein, not hemp protein. You're not getting close on any of those. I just had on the show, once again, Ted Naiman. He said, well, in order to even get close, you need to eat even more of it. So that 120 grams of carbohydrates you're eating just to get the same amount you're getting from meat, that's still not giving you all of the amino acids you need. You've basically, by having 3 cups of that just to get that protein in, you've basically have the same profile as a Coca-Cola. Okay?
That's how much is in a Coke? Good Lord.
A Coke is about 37 grams of carbohydrates. This is more carbs. Can of Coke.
Good night, Irene.
So when I say fuck quinoa, I really do mean fuck quinoa. You're not doing yourself any favors. You're giving yourself type 2 diabetes. You're giving yourself non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You're giving yourself sleep apnea. You're giving yourself a world of hurt.
And that's just in a seed.
Yeah, that just to eat something that the government said was good for you. Just to eat something that the registered dietitians are telling you is good for you. That's what you're doing to yourself. Okay.
Do you think that because it seems so harmless, it's a seed, you have to put stuff in it, it doesn't have much flavor, that people just think it's kind of innocuous? Well, like that they don't realize how pernicious that can be?
People don't think about it, but they go, I will tell this to people in consults and they will say to me, well, man, I'm just doing it for my health. You're not healthy. You're not helping yourself. You're not doing anything for your health. You're going in reverse. See, no one else is going to give you this information this way. I'm the idiot that's willing to break it down so that people can understand it.
And listen, I was hugely relieved. I thought that I had to have quinoa to be healthy because let's be honest, if I'm going to choose a grain, I'm going to choose rice or corn because they taste better. So it's like, I thought I was doing the healthy thing by doing quinoa and doing brown rice, arguably the 2 worst tasting grains. I'm not even talking about glycemic load and all that stuff. I'm just saying for me, from a taste standpoint, I don't like them. So when I found this out from you, I was relieved. I thought people would be relieved. Great. I don't have to eat that thing anymore to be healthy.
Anna, I want you to look up one more thing.
Okay.
Look up the protein content in rice. USDA, use the same. By the way, yeah, I'm gonna tell you the cutest thing just happened. I have
Bonzo's scared when daddy gets
there's
upset.
paintings on the floor. Bonzo came over for a pet and started licking himself on the painting.
Bonzo's a narcissist.
You could not lick Stella.
Oh, did you say rice, white rice or brown rice? I'm sorry.
Do brown rice. Why not? Doesn't matter. I'm trying to get the healthiest rice we can get.
Brown rice, they have an entry for brown rice, long grain, unenriched, raw. That's the only entry they have for brown rice.
Okay. And what do we have protein?
Let's look up. Well, they only have it in 100 grams. So 100 grams is different than a cup, which is more than 100 grams.
Okay.
Okay. So this is less than a cup. This is less than the serving of quinoa we were talking about.
Right.
Brown rice, 76 grams of carbs.
Okay. And what about the protein?
7 grams of protein.
Yeah. So you see, remember I said they hail quinoa as being something special, and there's literally 1 gram more of a bastardized protein. Do you get why I go nuts over this stuff?
I do, of course.
And the amount of carbohydrates you have to eat to even get that really bad profile of protein, it makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
Which is why when I put a thing out on my Instagram.
On your Instagram, yeah.
Now, Anna, I'm going to play. Are you
play it? I'm going to look for it because I'm going to look for some of the questions that are on it. We're going to treat this like a Q&A. Some of the questions, some of the, people who are upset about it. Oh, I lost it. Let me scroll back and find it.
Okay. I did a thing about 2 weeks ago. It was called 3 foods. By the time this comes out, it would be 6 weeks. Three foods you should never eat. It's been downloaded. Let me see. I'll tell you how many times it's been downloaded, Anna. Almost viewed. Yeah, viewed. Almost 700,000 times. Okay. So I'm going to go to it right here. You ready, Anna? We're going to listen to what I had to say that day. And then I want to discuss all 3 of the foods I said you should never eat. Here goes. You should never have for breakfast. Number 1, cereal, hot or cold. It's not good. That includes things like grits and oatmeal. There's nothing special about those. They will still cause a big old glycogen load. Number 2, any kind of creamer. This is not cream. This is creamer. This is the that you put in that's full of chemicals. Out. No more. And number 3, turkey bacon. Come on, folks. You can't get bacon from a turkey. And in order to make it taste even like a reasonable facsimile, you got to put all kinds of in it. All right. Stay motivated.
Stay motivated.
Here are the 3 things. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make things stop.
Keep playing. Just play it on a loop. Play it 6 or 7 more times.
All right. So some people had a problem with creamer, but you see, that's a teachable moment. A lot of people did not know that creamer and cream are not the same thing, right? So if you're getting any kind, the only brand I really know because I remember it from childhood was Carnation Creamer. I remember where my grandfather worked. They have the powder. You put the powder creamer.
The powdered creamer.
Yeah,
so bad.
I would see people mix it in, and it like
that's
plump
one
a
thing.
little bit on the edges. I remember as a kid because I drank coffee back then. I went, ooh, I want to be like the grown-ups. I'm gonna put some of this creamer in. I remember thinking how it tasted like a chemical, right? I've always had somewhat of a discerning taste, even as a kid. I liked coffee as a kid. But I knew that this creamer, this powdered stuff wasn't any good. At some point, they started making it in a liquid form. And, I see it. Sometimes I'll go browse by to see what people are buying. Mm-hmm. And there'll be like hazelnut and cinnamon and toasty crunch creamer. And this one tastes like vanilla and almonds and your grandma's left tit. They have all of these different flavors, right?
Gross. Okay.
And when you read the back, it reads like War and Peace. I mean, there's so many chemicals in this stuff. There's nothing healthy about this product. So that was a good teachable moment. Some people didn't know there was a difference between cream, good old-fashioned heavy whipping cream, or half and half, versus creamer. So I was glad for that. Some people had trouble with turkey bacon. Now,
are you talking about in the comments, people having problems with what you're saying?
Right. People had problems with turkey bacon, and they had a legit, like some turkey bacon is not so bad. It's an animal protein. The turkey bacon thing was more of a joke to put, I wanted to add a joke in there. That's why I made it the 3rd thing.
You were serious about the turkey bacon, but it seems like an obvious thing. Like, wow, come on.
Bacon doesn't come from turkeys, number 1. Number 2, in order to make it taste like a reasonable facsimile, you got to dummy it up with.
Yeah, they add a bunch of stuff in there.
Right. So it's not that good for you. Why not have the real thing? Matter of fact, I think I'm going to have bacon for dinner tonight. How about
Mhm.
that now? See, Serena's out of town.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
All
I'm gonna
bets are off.
I'm going to get all naked and everything.
This bachelor is going to party.
That's
Okay.
right. Party.
Dip your balls in some bacon grease, son.
Nope. You know where I dip my balls? Right in Villa Capelli. So I get people going, really? I thought turkey bacon was good. Good for my heart. Good for this. Good for that. Most of the stuff have chemicals in it. So I'm not a big fan. I could have picked foods much worse than turkey bacon.
Right.
Boy, the problem where people look, and at first, Anna, the first people coming in, the first 500, 600, we're all fans going, amen, amen, man. You're right, man. You know, when it comes to the oatmeal. But then as the things start to go somewhat viral, once you get past 400,000 or 500,000 views, it's now viral, right?
Well, you got a lot of people who didn't like it.
Most of them didn't. And calling me every name in the book. It's the same as the quinoa thing. I went and looked it up, right? And look, as a matter of fact, I did another video, right, like 2 days later to address those people because I'm not going to sit there and argue with them over Twitter. Let me see if I can find the one. This was called "Why Oatmeal is Bad for You." So I'm going to let my Instagram do the talking here.
Okay.
Post where I mentioned oatmeal not being very healthy, and a lot of you guys got butthurt. I get it. Your grandpappy made it to 105 and he had oatmeal every single day. But guess what? You're not your grandpappy. We now live in a world where people are metabolically broken. Your A1Cs could be way above 5.6. You could have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These are real problems. Oatmeal will not help you in any way, shape, or form. Why? One single cup has 27 grams of carbohydrates. And who eats a cup? Most people eat a bowl. So that's where I went with that, right? Just one cup. As a matter of fact, you can make an argument here. Well, you really can't. You can almost make an argument that, 27 grams of carbohydrates, that's a lot lower than the 39 you would get from quinoa. But oatmeal doesn't have 8 grams of carbohydrates. It only has
protein. You mean protein?
Protein. It only has 3. So you see, quinoa has 8 grams, makes it a superstar in the vegan community. This only has 3 grams at 27 grams of carbohydrates. So when you do that math, you would have to eat bowl after bowl to get close to eating.
Nobody's eating bowl after bowl to try to get more protein. Exactly. They're just going to eat some turkey bacon with their oatmeal. Let's be honest. And here's the deal. Oatmeal, quinoa, any of the things, you have to put stuff in it to make it taste good. So if you're eating a bowl of plain oatmeal, just nothing in it, no salt, no butter, no cream, no sugar, no cinnamon. I know the raisins, the ones with the, cut up fruit.
Right.
I doubt anybody's doing that. You're putting stuff in it too. So you have to make it palatable, or else it tastes like glue. Like you're just eating glue. But you know what? You can have meat and just put salt on meat and it's very palatable. So I don't know. But
people put in oatmeal.
Yeah.
Honey.
Oh, honey. Yeah.
Brown sugar.
Mm-hmm. Which they've been told brown sugar is a healthier sugar.
Right. So some people put
coconut sugar,
maple syrup in it.
Mm-hmm. That's healthier.
They're told that that's healthier.
It's got more nutrients.
Some people put in agave because they're told that's healthier.
It won't spike your blood sugar if you're diabetic.
Some people put in sugar, but it's called turbinado. That's healthier. None of this is healthier, folks.
Raw sugar.
And on top of that, you know what else they put? They put raisins, which is equivalent to nature's sugar turds. I've been saying that on this show from the beginning. You want to put sugar turds on there? Put raisins. Well, it's healthier. Well, then I put dates. Dates are the same thing. That's nature's super sugar turd. Bigger. It's all straight sugar. Well, it's got some fiber in it. Yeah. Stop. You're not getting anywhere. Stop the insanity, folks. Now I sound like Susan Powder. Stop the insanity.
Vinnie Powder. Here's the thing too. Everybody has to make their own decisions. You're just trying to give out information so people can figure out, okay, I am the type of person who is still metabolically broken. Maybe I'm still morbidly obese and I'm doing all the things right, like eating the oatmeal. Right. Maybe that's something that you could take a look at and just try something different. That's all that we're suggesting. And I'm going to say we, because I say the same thing to people, and you're not trying to take anything away from anybody. If you want your oatmeal, you're a grown up. You can eat whatever you want. Exactly. But if you're looking for answers, And maybe that you fit that particular personality. And it's not for the people too, because there's a lot of people who are like, I eat oatmeal, I'm perfectly fit. Okay.
Yeah. Knock
Good
yourself
for
out.
you.
Yeah.
It's funny that you showed up in their feed though. Also too, the people are very concerned with you entering their feed. And I'm like, Vinny doesn't like pick you to like appear in your feed. That's the algorithm doing that. I mean, I know you're putting your content out there, which is great. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
But it's just really funny how people think that you're personally going after them and their belief systems. And you're really not. You're just trying to give information.
Most people are ignorant. Anna, go ahead and read some of those comments. Do you have the comments there?
I'm trying to find stuff that isn't negative, honestly.
You can't. Hey, look, just start reading them. Just pick one and go.
I will say this. I feel this person's pain.
Okay.
Somebody wrote, next post I read will tell me how I have to eat oatmeal every day. All this, do this, don't this crap is just that crap. I do feel your pain in that because.
Yeah. For the people who wrote those kinds of comments, I'm with them 1,000%. I feel what they're feeling.
You have not wavered on your message.
Not an inch.
The media wavers on the message. The government wavers on the message. The powers that be that receive money from the lobbyists waver on their message.
Not this idiot.
No.
Not this idiot. No wavering. And look, I get that. People that go, yeah, today this, tomorrow that. I get it. Folks, people have gone back and listened to people that listen to the newest podcast. A lot of them have gone back and they write to me and they'll say, oh my God, you have not changed one bit. You are steadfast in what you're saying. Yeah. When you're telling the truth, there's no reason to lie. That sounded profound. What else you got, Anna?
So somebody did write, so what makes a good breakfast? And you wrote one word. What did you say?
Probably eggs.
Yes.
There was like 1,500 comments. Huh?
And the person replied, and I think this is a really good reply, and I want to discuss this. He wrote, okay, thanks. I've been told not to eat those either. I usually eat oatmeal and boiled egg whites with fruit for breakfast. So this is a guy who's been told this, which I get it. The low fat thing is still very much out there, despite us kind of hitting critical mass with low carb, keto, NSNG, paleo, whatever you want to call it. But so discuss then why he shouldn't have oatmeal, boiled egg whites, and fruit for breakfast, or why that could be damaging him when he thinks he's doing a healthy thing.
Well, the only thing that's helping him there are the egg whites. So folks, that's
actual protein.
I don't want you to hear what I just said. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Ooh, that was fucking profound. There's nothing wrong with egg whites, except that you left off most of the nutrients that come in an egg. You got to remember, an egg is an embryo that comes with every amino acid it takes to create a sentient being. It's all right there. Right. It's the perfect food. The reason I don't have chickens in my backyard is because I'm trying to get rid of snakes. You have chickens, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to lay eggs. Snakes know, hey, eggs are healthy. I'm coming to get the eggs. Every living being knows that. And you think a snake is going to crack an egg open and just eat the whites? It's going to eat the whole thing. Right? Because
the snake's like, that is too much fat.
See, they don't need to go get collagen peptides with Jennifer Aniston on the cover because they eat the egg, they eat the shell and everything. They're getting all the collagen they need, right? It's all in there.
Somebody else wrote about, well, what are we supposed to eat? Eggs? You wrote, yes, eggs. And then they wrote, but they have lots of, I think they meant calcium, but there's a typo. Lots of calcium, ... kidney stones. What?
That's just
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to find something that makes sense here.
Right. Yeah. But you see, I'm not laughing at these people. I'm concerned that these people don't know, the amount of ignorance is astounding, but that ignorance, I don't think people would be ignorant. Ignorant is not the right word because ignorant basically means to ignore facts.
Right.
These people are not ignoring facts.
They've been giving
trying to facts. Understand facts.
Right.
The facts that they're getting is or are keeping them ignorant. Does that make sense?
I think that you did make one grammar correction or spelling correction and it cracked me up. There's a million, these comments are rife with errors. So it cracked me up that you did call out somebody's spelling in it.
What did I do?
Somebody called you what and doofus and you wrote what and doofus question mark. It was funny. This is what I was telling you a few months ago when I'm in the Reddit for the perimenopause/menopause Reddit.
Yeah.
And these women are really, really struggling, like really struggling. And it breaks my heart And I'm of the age where I'm starting to go through it. So I'm starting to experience some things. And I can't even imagine what it would be like eating either a standard American diet or even a plant-based diet that's higher in carbohydrates. I would be the one who would be really sick and posting in these groups saying, help me. And so these women are repeatedly writing, I'm doing everything right. And yes, by their paradigms and by their standards of what they've been told, they're so frustrated because they're going mostly plant-based. They're only having meat, once a month. They're counting their calories. Women are constantly like, I'm down to 1,100 calories. I'm down to 1,000 calories a day. I'm working out like crazy. And it's really sad. It is
so sad, Anna.
And I'm obviously not going to go in a Reddit thread and be like, guys, listen to my podcast with Vinny. He knows, like, I'm just not going to do that. And by the way, I got myself into trouble. We went out with the across the street neighbors who are awesome. And they were there with her sister was there to watch the kids so we could all go out to dinner, and just great people, love them. And the sister was like, saying the thing of, I know what it was. The neighbor had read the Blue Zones book. Oof. And her point, though, which I thought was interesting, the neighbor said her point was saying it's mostly about friends and stress and, you know what I mean? Like managing, right. We have these crazy lives, and that part I was like, great. And then I was like, and then they started talking about I'm trying to cut out red meat. And I was like, not me. I eat it every day. Like, I was just like, I was doing that thing where I know you'd say not to say something, but I did. I was like, not me.
But when
eat
people
red meat every day.
It's so
got great numbers.
When people go, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to cut out meat. And you have Mayor Eric, whatever his name is, up in New York, yell,
Eric Adams, yep.
Get rid of red meat. We're trying to get rid. And then you go to Ireland or somewhere, and they're trying to kill 200,000 cattle. Just kill them. We're trying to save the planet. Oh, you haven't heard about this? Over in Ireland,
that's awful.
Or Scotland.
Talk about a waste of life.
Anna, look it up. Look it up. Google that shit right now. It's either Ireland or Scotland. They're going, we got to kill 200,000 cattle so that we can lower emissions so we can save a polar bear somewhere. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. They're taking bullshit information, turning it into something real and going, oh, now we got to go kill cattle. If we're not living in idiocracy at this point, we never will be living in idiocracy.
And
we're there.
The biggest irony, it will be a cattle farmer who has to lay down in front of his cows to save their lives instead of some crazy vegan.
Yeah, it's a bizarre world. And
it's so weird.
So when Serena read this the other day, she goes, where's PETA on this? I said, well, PETA's behind this. Where's PETA on this? PETA's not going to go save those fucking 200,000 cattle. PETA is causing this. The people who say, we're for animal rights. Well, what about these cattle? Oh, we got to kill these cattle because they're farting. Are you fucking insane? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? That's what I need to know. Hang on, Anna. Jesus Christ. Hang on.
You're right there.
No, I'm not all right, man. I'm losing it here. Hang on. Okay, I'm better. Jeez. I mean, man, sorry, Anna. I went off there for a second. It just drives me crazy that they're trying. Did you find that article?
It's an uphill battle. No, I'm not. I don't want to Google that. No. I believe you.
Yeah, it's there.
I don't need to. I don't want to Google.
By the way,
I don't need. I don't need to get upset. I have my own things I'm upset about. I don't need to get upset with you,
Debbie. I think
I
I'm
have
giving
to.
you. Debbie's got a lot of stuff she can use from Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Debbie, find something where I'm going nuts about, I don't know, something, and put it up there. Yeah, it just drives me crazy. The whole thing just drives me absolutely.
Well, here's a legit concern. Somebody wrote, so why is no one going after food production of cereal? For years, we were told it was part of a healthy breakfast, heart healthy garbage. Kids basically eating candy for breakfast, bunch of useless grains. Yeah, we're doing what we can, us two, and you making movies about it, Fat a documentary, Fat 2, Beyond Impossible.
Yeah.
Fitness Confidential, your book. We're trying to get information out there on a populist level. Like we're trying to get the information out to the people. That's what we can do. Vinnie and I are not lobbyists. We don't work within the legislature. That's not the work that we do. If you are listening and you work within the system and you're able to do it, great. Here's another way that I am helping. And I know Vinny's doing the same with his companies. When I started the sauce company and the spice company, I made sure that I am, and still do, am very hands-on with who I work with, because I don't have equipment to make large scale spice blends so I have to partner with somebody to do it. So the changes that I'm making are making sure that I'm partnering with people who get the vision. I'm making sure that I'm able to get a ton of information out there. And so is Vinny. Make sure that information is available so that people can make the changes in their lives should they desire to implement the information. But why is nobody going after big food? There are people going after big food, but it's a tough battle. And we are more effective spreading the word, person to person, mouth to mouth, making out. We're going to make out with every single one of you. Every single one of you.
Anna will give you tongue.
That's right.
Listen, folks.
That's how I'm going to spread the message.
The problem is, and Nina Tice shows they try to affect policy and do all this.
She's trying to do it. She's a good example of somebody.
She knows that it's a losing battle. I mean, they haven't given up, but they know it's a losing battle. And here's why. The people, the lobbyists it's the food lobby, it's the drug lobbies, it's all of these lobbies. They don't want to see people get healthy because they can't make money that way. They can only make money. We always talk about it's not healthcare anymore, it's sick care. Well, they can't make money unless people are sick. That's number one. Number two, the people that's senators and representatives, they enter the White House, they enter the cabinet, and they're making what, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 a year. Yet they leave those positions very, very wealthy. Where did that money come from? How did they leave worth millions and houses in the Hamptons and this and that and the whole thing? They do that because they're taking dollars from special interest groups and they're putting those dollars into policy that affects you. So what can you do about this? You cannot let them do that to you. That's all you can do. Just don't let them do it to you. Bottom line.
And by the way, a lot of change can be made by people choosing with their pocketbooks, people choosing economically. Everything's economically driven. Yeah. Everything. If you look at everything, follow the money, everything's economically driven. And back when you and I started this podcast, they're trying to find non-factory farmed animal protein was difficult unless you lived by a ranch and you could do a cattle share, right? And with somebody who's a sustainable farmer, cattle farmer. So it's like it's growing, it's becoming more. At first, grass-fed ground beef was $20 a pound or more in the grocery store years ago. Now I've seen it as low as $6, $7 a pound.
Yeah.
So, and that is because if companies see an opportunity and people are choosing with their pocketbooks, generally the market will start to follow.
Yeah, supply and
still
demand.
Dealing with breaking paradigms and shifting paradigms. We don't have to break anybody's paradigm, but shifting it. But I listen, you can go back and listen to the early episodes of this podcast and hear my paradigm had to be shifted because I was just like, that's nice, Vinny. I'm just going to go back on Weight Watchers before the next time I have to go shoot something.
Yeah.
you know, because
I
that's what I
remember
was
that.
used to doing. I was used to starving myself.
But
And if
that's
I,
not the way it has to be. And look
no,
at Anna now. No starving, running up a hill while she's talking to me, puffing and puffing.
because I here's the thing I've realized. We're growing this thing. Hence the more nasty comments, the more nasty messages, the more, and that's okay.
Yeah, and they don't bother me. My favorite comment was the people that went after the fact that I had on, well, the shirt used to be red, but it was so worn out that it looks pink.
Yeah.
And
People
guys,
didn't like your pink shirt either. They said that. They
they're
said
like,
as
oh
much.
yeah, you know, who would listen to a guy with the pink shirt? It's like, really?
What?
That's your argument? You're attacking clothes?
Yeah.
That's where you are. You have.
You want to know something fascinating?
What?
100 years ago, pink was a color for boys.
Really?
Yeah. And then it was changed and co-opted and turned into like the girly color. Isn't that funny?
Now it's Susan B. Komen. So what?
Yeah.
You guys aren't into boobies? What's the deal? But you know that's always my thing. Whenever you start going after laundry, you're out of argument.
Yeah, for sure.
Argument. Oh, I'm not listening to this guy. He's got a pink shirt on. You lost your argument
I will
in
say
your comment.
TikTok, it's like comedians in the comments at TikTok. I don't love TikTok, but when I've gotten sucked in, those comments are funny. Instagram, it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. And I love Instagram. It's my favorite platform to be on.
Look,
but it is interesting
up there. You know, that's
but I guess if you guys want to be, you know, a little more, maybe take a note from the TikTokers, be a little more funny. You're going to have to just take a few walks, punch up your jokes a little bit. That would be great.
By the way, Megan, I wrote to her 45 minutes ago. It was around 3:00. It's a birthday. So it's 3:00 here, which means it's noontime there.
It's 1:15 now. Yeah.
Are you partying at noontime on your birthday? How did
Maybe
you start that early? I mean, Leona was.
I don't, but some people do.
I'm like sitting there.
I like to work on my birthday because to me, there's no better feeling. Having been a starving artist, there's no better feeling than knowing I have pulled in some money for that day.
Yeah.
That I've done some work. I like that. I like working though. I'm not saying she doesn't like working. She's a good worker. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying like some people like to take their birthday off and I'm the opposite. I want to book 10 jobs on my birthday.
Same here. You know, make the gift more work for daddy because yeah, you and I
also if I'm busy, then I don't have to think about how old I've become.
Yeah. Birthday is just another day. All right. And I think we've done it here.
We did.
So
you were going to talk about how somebody was on a consult and the dog was eating the books.
Oh yeah. I was talking to a woman. I could probably give her first name, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I'll tell you. So you guys don't think I'm making this up. I had to, it was on Tuesday. Her name is Tracy. I'm not going to give her last name. And Tracy was in New Zealand. So when people call me from overseas, if they don't have one of the apps where, you know, it's free for both parties, I'll bring them in on Zoom.
Right.
So it's easier for me just to talk to them on Zoom.
Yeah.
And what are some of the WhatsApp, you know, you use WhatsApp and the whole thing, but this is all the way over in New Zealand. So I'm talking to Tracy and she's got a brand new Parsons puppy. Parsons is a type of Jack Russell. And of course,
so cute.
I, you know, we had Topsy, which was a Parsons Jack Russell, and we were big fans and the whole thing. And this dog is a puppy. I'm talking like 8 weeks old.
My God, they're so cute. On
the floor, causing trouble. She picks it up and now squirming around. You know, it's like trying to herd one lizard. And at some point she was talking about, she was showing me, she said, look, big fans. I got both of Anna's book. She's got Eat Happy. She's got Eat Happy too. And she wishes that she could get the spices and sauces and everything there. And I explained to her that I said, look, we can't do it. And I can't do it with my companies. Anna can't do it. It's just too much of a thing to try to get stuff to New Zealand and Australia. It's just the prices are just crazy just to ship. And at some point during the consult, the dog started eating the Eat Happy cookbook. Who knew that the book is so good that people, like dogs, will eat the recipes in the book?
Is that one?
That looks like a Parsons, yeah. That actually looks like a.
This dog was at a winery in Tuscany because I told you everybody, you know how the places have different dog trends?
Right.
And they had the wire hair Jack Russell.
I love the wired hair.
And Lauren would not put this dog down. And he's still, this 2 months later, and he's still like, what's Pepina doing? I was like,
Pepina.
He fell in love with Pepina.
I love that.
Pepina.
I love it.
I love that her dog ate the book. That makes me happy.
Yeah, yeah. So, folks, if you want your dog to eat your copy of Eat Happy, you have to get a copy of it first.
It's true.
And you got to get a dog, preferably a puppy. And if your dog is older and is not into eating books, I suggest you rub a little meat on it and your dog will start eating it. Unless you get Rose to maybe do a little cover art on the book with oil, and then maybe your dog will start licking it.
RoseDobbins.com.
Yeah. So go check out Anna Vocino and her books, her dog food books, Eat Happy and Eat Happy Too. She also has the powders. I've been living on the powders night and day.
You need them because Miss Serena's out of town.
Serena's out of town. So, I mean, tonight is taco night again. So you see, I had hamburger night. Then I had steak night. Then I had fish night. Oh, wait. I had taco.
When are you doing bachelor chili?
Oh, wait. I had taco, and then I had steak, then I had fish, and then hamburger. And now tonight is taco night again. And what I do, folks, is I just take a pound of ground beef. I put it, just drop it there in the pan. Starts frying up. And I hit it with a bunch of salt. Then I hit it with the Anna Vocino barbecue dust. And I'm Cajun, so may or may not hit it with a little cayenne on top of that.
Extra cayenne.
Super spicy. And while that is all juicing up over there on the grill, I take another pepper. I take a jalapeno and I chop it up real fine. And then I take a tomato and I chop that up really fine. I take some creme fraiche. And right before I take it off the griddle, I put some shredded cheese. I shred the cheese fresh because that's the way I like to rock and roll. Fresh shredded cheese. Don't ever get the stuff in a pillow because they have to put something on it so it doesn't coagulate.
Cornstarch usually.
Yeah. So you don't want to have that.
Or tapioca starch, yeah.
Yeah. So stay away from that. Get the good stuff. Just make it from scratch. And then I mix it all together. The jalapenos, the tomatoes, the tomato. I don't put tomatoes. And I mentioned jalapenos. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I put it all in a big giant bowl. I sit in front of my television and I watch an old movie from the 1980s. That's the way I like to roll. Tonight is taco night. That's what I'll be doing. Yeah.
I made burgers last night with just the barbecue dust and some yellow mustard in it. That's it. And we put them on the grill. And then I made deviled eggs with the dill. And by the way, I filmed that for Instagram. That's on Instagram. I answer questions on Instagram. I do the filming. I do the cooking videos, YouTube and Instagram. If you're feeling like intimidated or afraid to get in the kitchen, please check out both of those accounts of mine because I want to help y'all demystify this stuff. It's pretty simple. It really is. You just need to learn a few tricks and then you're going to be good to go.
Okay, you know what to do. We all go shopping on Amazon. Before you go to Amazon, please go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. We're able to keep this show free because of that. We also have the Superfan page. Debbie wants me to let you guys know we have an NSNG ebook. People are now calling it the Nickel and Diamond Me ebook. They love that. You can go get the Nickel and Diamond Me ebook. It's $10 over at VinnieTortorich.com. We won't hassle you or anything. Just go get it. We don't write to you all the time. Matter of fact, I sent out my first email in a long time, a little while back. So
proud of you.
Yeah, and people like, when I send out an email because it's something, I'm saying something special, right? So you can go check all that out. On behalf of Miss Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with enthusiasm.